Good morning, dear students. Let us start a quick revision of the chapter Climate of India. Already, the whole chapter has been explained to you by Joseph sir, but now I will give you a quick revision. So let's start here. So as you can see, first of all, the two most important factors which influence the climate of India are Tropic of Cancer and Great Himalayan Range. Now, how the Tropic of Cancer? If you'll find the Tropic of Cancer divides the whole India into two halves, that is the northern India and southern India, and you will find the climate also in the both part of India. It is totally different. Now, another thing, the Great Himalayan Range. Himalaya actually is the biggest range in the world. The top 10 highest peaks of the world, they lies in Himalayas. So altogether the whole Himalayas, they are the largest and the highest mountain range in the world. So these great Himalayas, it separates the Indian subcontinent from the rest of India, and this is why India and some neighboring countries together, they are also termed as the Indian subcontinent, because this part of India, this part of Asia is separated from the rest part of Asia by the Himalayan range. Now Himalayas, they also affect the climate of India, so you will see afterwards. But first of all, we are going to see about the variation and the contrast in climate. In India, you will find here the temperature wise, if you will see, first of all, in the summer season, you will see we experience very extreme hot conditions. Most of the part of India, usually the whole India, you will find from north to south, only if you just leave the mountainous region. So all the plain areas, usually the temperature is extremely high. You can find there the same time some places you can also find the temperature is very low. Like example, in Rajasthan, the highest temperature which has been recorded in the book, it is given 50 degrees centigrade, but now at present it is going even beyond 50 degrees centigrade, and recently actually that is 52 and even 54 degrees centigrade temperature has been recorded in some parts of Rajasthan. At the same time, if you find there is one place in Jammu and Kashmir, we call it Dras, near Kargil, and there is a lowest temperature, that is minus 40 degrees centigrade, has been recorded during winter. So this shows about the variation in temperature. So variation you can find, this is a very big variation. Now another thing is the rainfall wise also, if you find there is in India, there is one place, Mausim Gram, it lies in Cherrapunji. Cherrapunji is a district, and in Cherrapunji there is one place, Mausim Gram. Now Cherrapunji usually it lies in Meghalaya state of Meghalaya. So here Mausim Gram, here actually the highest rainfall in the world, that is 1187 centimeter has been recorded. So there is one place where the highest rainfall actually in the world is been recorded. But at the same time, if you find there is a Rajasthan, where some place where the average rainfall is recorded, that is not even 12 centimeter. So this is the variation. There is one place where the rainfall is 1187 centimeter, and another side you can find the lowest rainfall, that is less than 25 centimeter, which is given in your book. But actually there are some place in Rajasthan where below 12 centimeter rainfall is being recorded. So this is the variation and contrast in the climate of India, temperature wise and the rainfall wise we have seen. Now let's see the factors affecting the temperature. The first factor which affect the temperature of India is location, and already I explained you the Tropic of Cancer, it passes from the mid part of India, dividing India into two halves, North India and South India. So this way you will find the whole India lies in the tropical region, and so we experience the tropical type of climate. Another thing, the second is the influence of Himalayas. Now, as I told you, Himalayas separates India from the rest part of Asia, but Himalayas affects the climate of India two ways. The first thing, it obstructs the bitter cold wind from Siberia, that is the Siberian breeze, very cold breeze. This is why we don't experience, the North India don't experience the very extreme cold conditions, because Himalayas protect us. But at the same time, the Himalayan range, it also blocks the rain bearing southwest monsoon winds. So these winds are being intercepted by Himalayan range, and this is how actually we receive so heavy rainfall. Next is the altitude. As all of you know, altitude means height. So as we go at the higher altitude, usually temperature, it decreases with the rate of 1 degree centigrade for every 166 meter. And you can find in the northern part of India, there is a large area, actually it lies in Himalayas. So this is why you can find the hilly areas, they are much cooler. Why? Because of the altitude. At the same time, the plain areas, in summer you can find temperature is very hot, but in the summer conditions, same time if you just visit hill stations, you will find temperature is cooler. Why it is? Because of the altitude. Another thing is the distance from the sea. Now usually you will find the regions which are situated close to the sea. Now usually they experience the moderate type of climate. Now why? Moderate type means the equable type of climate. Why? Because of the land breeze and the sea breeze. The wind actually which blows from the sea, that just maintains the temperature there, and this is why all the areas near the coast, means we can say the coastal areas, experience equable type of climate. Next is the western disturbances. Now what are the western disturbances? Now western disturbances are, these are the winds. Usually in class 9th you have studied about the westerlies. Now westerlies which blows from Mediterranean Sea. Now these winds pick moisture from Mediterranean Sea and it blows towards India. And as between Mediterranean Sea and India, there are very low hills lies. They are unable to block these winds, and so during the winter season, these westerlies, as they pick the moisture from the Mediterranean Sea, they reach India, and here actually they meet with the, when they meet with the cold winds, so what happen, there is a meeting of warm winds, because the westerlies are the warm winds, and at the same time they pick moisture. So in the northern India they meet with the cold winds. So meeting of the cold and the warm winds, what happen, this results into a temperate cyclone. If you remember in class 9th I have explained you about the temperate cyclone. So western disturbances actually are not something different, they are the same temperate cyclone which has been experienced during the winter season. And this is why in the month of December and in January, you can see in North India, especially in Punjab and UP, we sometimes experience a slight rainfall. So this rainfall is nothing but it is a temperate cyclone. Another thing is the upper air currents or jet streams. And in class 9th I explained you about the jet streams. These are the streams, very high speed winds. It blows at the very high altitude, at the level of tropopause. So these jet streams, they also influence the monsoon in India. And it has been seen, as I explained you in class 9th, if you remember, these jet streams, they decide the onset and departure of monsoon in India. The whole monsoon system, it depends upon the jet streams. Now in class 10th also, only this much is given in your syllabus, so no need for the detailed explanation. Otherwise this jet stream is a very big topic, it is a one theory, so no need to explain it. So you need to know only one thing, that these jet streams, they determine the onset and departure of the monsoon in India, and that's why they are so important factor. So these are the some of the most important factor which influence the climate of India. Now let's move to the climate of Indian subcontinent. And as all of you know, first of all, the word monsoon. Now India experiences tropical monsoon type of climate. Now from where does this word monsoon comes? Monsoon actually is derived from the word mausim. Mausim is a Arabic word which means the winds which reverse their direction or seasonal winds. So usually the mausim, the Arabic word mausim means seasonal winds, and from that word this word monsoon is derived. Now you will find the monsoon also is a seasonal winds. They change their direction. For 6 months they blows from northeast direction, and for 6 months they blow from southwest direction. So let's see here. The whole season of India means in India, the climate of India, it can be divided into 4 main seasons. What are they? The hot dry season, which has been experienced between March to May. Rainy season, that is June to September. Then the retreating southwest monsoon season, that is October to November, and the winter season, that is between December to February. So let's start with the hot dry season. So as you can find from the March onwards, the temperature keeps on increasing, and you can find up to the May. The May is the hottest month. Now during this time you will find the conditions are very dry. Now usually there is no rainfall occurs. So whatever the rainfall usually occurs during this time actually is a local, caused by the local winds. So it is not a monsoon rainfall, right? So we will see afterwards. So first of all you will find the common condition. If you see the temperature condition, that is between the March to May, it is very hot. Especially in the month of May, the temperature that becomes beyond 40 degrees centigrade. The whole India you will find very high temperature. Now because of the high temperature, there is a low pressure is formed over the whole India, especially the North India. So the pressure conditions is very low. There is a low pressure is formed over India. Temperature is very high. Next is some stormy winds are caused. Let's see here. Some local winds. First of all, there is a Kal Baisakhi. In West Bengal, it is also known as the Kali Baisakhi, but usually we call it Kal Baisakhi. Why Kal Baisakhi? Kal means period, and Baisakhi is the month of the Hindi month, that is Baisakh month. So in the month of Baisakh, this period, this calamity of in the month of Baisakh, it is also that called, and this is also known as nor'wester. Now usually these winds, they pick moisture from the Bay of Bengal and they just shed rainfall in West Bengal and Assam. But sometimes these winds also influence the eastern UP and Bihar, and even many parts of Odisha. The second local wind is the Lu. Now especially in the month of May, you will find there is a hot dusty wind blows in the North India from Rajasthan, Punjab, Haryana and UP and Bihar. So these states, they will find there is a hot dusty wind blows in this whole northern part of India, and we call it Lu. Another local wind which is experienced in the South India, and they are called mango shower. In the month of April and May, these winds pick moisture again from the Bay of Bengal and they just shed slight rainfall in Andhra, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka and Maharashtra. And these rainfall is very good for mango and tea and coffee. That's why they are also called mango shower, because they are very good for mango especially. So this is about the hot dry season. Now let's move to the another season, that is the southwest monsoon season. So usually what happen, these winds actually which blows from the southwest direction, which enters in India, and they pick rainfall from Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. So you will find here, I will show you another figure here. So these southwest monsoon winds, they are divided into two branches. The first branch is called Arabian Sea branch, and the wind which picks moisture from Bay of Bengal, they are called Bay of Bengal branch. So Arabian Sea branch picks moisture from Arabian Sea, and it starts rainfall from the Kerala. So from Kerala it just moves towards north, because you will find there is a Western Ghat, and it acts as a barrier for these winds. So this is why these whole coastal regions, means the west, first of all the Kerala, then Karnataka, then Maharashtra, and then these winds reach to Goa. From here it reaches to Rajasthan. So this is the way through which these winds pick moisture and shed rainfall, and it reaches to North India. Bay of Bengal branch, as it picks moisture from Bay of Bengal. So first of all, as it enters in India, these winds again bifurcate into, means divided into two branches. A large part of this Bay of Bengal branch, it enters in Myanmar, and about 30 to 40% rainfall. These winds, they are derived, they are actually deviated by these Himalayas. So what happened, these winds enters and they just deviated, and they starts, when they enters in North India, they change their direction and they starts blowing from east to west. This is why in our region, in whole North India, you will find the wind usually either blows from east and either from the west. So we call them the in Hindi we call them Purva and Pachua. Well, so these winds, the southwest monsoon winds, when they enters in North India, they starts blowing from east direction. So first of all, they shall rainfall in the West Bengal, then here in Jharkhand and Bihar and Odisha, and then they enters in UP, and then they reach in the north part of India, that is Delhi, and there their two branches meet together, means Arabian Sea branch and Bay of Bengal, they meet here, right near Delhi. Well, that is the capital of India. So this is about the description of the monsoon winds, but there are some dates you need to remember. Now usually it has been seen that usually on 1st June the southwest monsoon winds, they reach to Kerala, but usually sometimes when they arrive early, we call that the monsoon arrives early, but sometimes when they get late, then we call the monsoon is late. But the exact date is 1st June. So when they reach on 1st June in Kerala, up to 5th June, they just cover the whole Kerala and some part of Tamil Nadu and some part of Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh and Telangana also. Up to 10th June, they reach to Mumbai. 15th June, they reach to Ahmedabad, that is in Gujarat. And 1st July, they covers the whole region of this Gujarat, and even they reach in Rajasthan, even Himachal Pradesh. So they just reaches to Himachal Pradesh up to 15th June. And what happened till the 15th July, this Bay of Bengal branch also, because it is entering from the north side. So up to 15th July, this Bay of Bengal branch and the Arabian Sea branch, they covers the whole India. The whole India is covered by these southwest monsoon winds. Now, so let's this is over now. Now let us see the another type of the third type of season, and that is the retreat monsoon season. The retreating southwest monsoon season. Now what do you mean by the retreating southwest monsoon season? Retreating word means returning back. Now what it has been seen, what happened? Let me show you the map here. Now usually what happened from October, the northeast monsoon winds, they starts blowing from the north. So what happened for the 2 months, that is for in the month of October and November, they push all the clouds which are being brought by these winds back. So again, as these clouds are being pushed back, again they shed rainfall. And that's why these 2 months is called the retreating southwest monsoon season. Because usually the northeast monsoon winds are the cold and dry winds. They don't shed any rainfall. But because for the 2 months they just push the clouds back, and as they are being pushed back, again these clouds they shed rainfall. That's why these 2 months, this season of for this 2 months is called retreating southwest monsoon season. Well, next is the fourth type of season. Quickly let's see the cold season, that is winter season. Now usually from the month of December and up to March, the whole India, now here this whole India is covered by the northeast monsoon winds. Now these winds blow from the northeast. As you can find, there is no water body. There is the Himalayas are there. So these winds are cold and dry. And what happened? The whole climate of India, especially the North India, you will see from the December onwards start experiencing the winter season. But South India, because it is close from the very close from the equator, that's why still they experience the warm temperature. Temperature is warmer. So only North India experience winter season. So this season, the fourth season, is the cold season, and especially you will find the temperature condition in the north and south very different. In north you will find the temperature becomes very cold. Some areas, even in the plain, temperature has been experienced 2.5 degrees centigrade up to 17.5 degrees centigrade. In the Kashmir and some Kargil and some places, minimum minus 45 degrees centigrade also has been experienced. And all the Himalayan region, many higher parts actually, they are covered with the heavy snowfall. But in south you will find the temperature still is warmer. Now there the temperature you will find is some places 21, or maybe more southern part you will see the temperature is 25 degrees centigrade, even 31 degrees centigrade temperature has been recorded. So 25 degree and 31 degrees centigrade actually is not a cold. It is a just moderate climate, moderate temperature. So this is about the short description, right? Short revision about this chapter, and in detail if you want to see, so you have to just check the videos which is been shown by the Joseph sir. Okay, so all the best.